Nestled on the corner of Maple Street, Sonny's Diner was a beloved spot for locals. Its bright yellow exterior gleamed in the morning sun, inviting everyone to come inside. The smell of fresh coffee and sizzling bacon wafted through the air, filling the diner with warmth and comfort. Inside, red vinyl booths lined the walls, each one occupied by familiar faces exchanging friendly banter. Every morning, the same regulars gathered at their usual tables. Mr. Thompson, with his newspaper and strong opinions, held court at the counter, while Mrs. Jenkins shared gossip over her steaming cup of tea. The cheerful waitress, named Lisa, moved effortlessly between tables, serving food with a smile and listening to stories about life in their small town. The diner was more than just a place to eat. It was a community hub where everyone felt at home. Among the bustling crowd, a quiet boy would sit alone in a corner booth, sipping his drink and watching the world go by, unnoticed but always present. Lisa, the waitress at Sonny's Diner, had a special gift for noticing the little things. With her bright smile and gentle demeanor, she made everyone feel welcome, but her heart especially went out to the quiet boy in the corner. Each day, she would bring him a warm cup of hot chocolate and a plate of pancakes, even though he rarely spoke a word in return. She would often catch him glancing at the other diners with wide eyes, as if he was trying to absorb their laughter and stories. Lisa admired his quiet strength and wanted him to know he wasn't alone. She would sit across from him for a moment, asking soft questions about his day or sharing a funny story from her own life. His shy smile made her heart swell with joy. Over time, their bond grew deeper. She became like a mother figure to him. Lisa knew that every meal she shared with him was more than just food. It was about connection and kindness in a world that sometimes felt too big for him. As Lisa continued to serve the quiet boy, she began to notice subtle signs of his struggles. Sometimes, he would look at the menu with a furrowed brow, and she could see him counting coins in his pocket before deciding what to order. When he ordered, it was always something small and simple, often just a drink rather than a meal. Her heart ached for him as she realized that he might not have enough money to eat properly. Lisa couldn't bear the thought of him going hungry, especially when he always seemed so appreciative of even the smallest kindness. One day, after noticing his hesitation to order food again, she decided to take action. With a warm smile, she placed a stack of pancakes and a side of bacon on his table, telling him it was on the house. From that day forward, she made it her mission to ensure he had a full plate every time he visited, all while keeping her gesture a secret from everyone else in the diner. As Lisa served the quiet boy, brief flashes of his life flickered in her mind. She remembered the first time she learned his name, Jamie, when he shyly accepted a piece of pie she offered him. He had glanced around to see if anyone was watching before taking a small bite, a look of sheer delight lighting up his face. In her reflections, she thought about how Jamie often came to the diner alone, leaving their small-town school as soon as the bell rang. He would wander through the streets, avoiding other children who played in groups. Lisa sensed that he had no one at home waiting for him, no parents to ask about his day or share meals with him. Sometimes, she imagined him sitting in a dimly lit apartment, the faint sound of arguing voices echoing from another room. The diner felt like a refuge for him, a place where he could escape and find comfort in simple meals and warm smiles, even if it was just for a little while. With each passing day, the bond between Lisa and Jamie grew stronger. She looked forward to his visits, eagerly preparing his favorite dishes and greeting him with a bright smile. Their interactions became a comforting routine. Lisa would sit down with him for a few moments, sharing stories about her day while he listened intently, occasionally offering a shy smile or nod of understanding. One afternoon, Lisa noticed Jamie quietly munching on his pancakes, clearly savoring each bite. With a sense of warmth in her heart, she asked him about his favorite foods. To her surprise, he opened up slightly, mentioning how he loved strawberries but rarely got to eat them. The next day, she surprised him with a small bowl of fresh strawberries alongside his meal. His eyes lit up in delight, and that moment solidified their connection. These simple acts of kindness created a safe space for Jamie, allowing him to express himself a little more each day. Lisa cherished these small victories, knowing that their bond brought light into both their lives amid their struggles. One crisp morning, as the sun began to rise, Lisa stepped into Sonny's diner to the sound of an unusual hustle and bustle. The diner's doors swung open repeatedly, and she noticed an unexpected influx of customers pouring in. Regulars who usually arrived around the same time were joined by unfamiliar faces, creating a buzz that filled the air with curiosity. Lisa wiped down tables with a sense of unease, glancing toward the window as she noticed four gleaming SUVs parked outside. Their shiny exteriors reflected the morning light, stirring a flutter of apprehension in her stomach. She couldn't shake the feeling that something significant was about to happen. Amid this commotion, she caught sight of Jamie arriving, his eyes wide with uncertainty as he navigated through the crowded space. Lisa felt a surge of protectiveness for him. Whatever was unfolding today might change their quiet routine forever. As she prepared for his usual meal, her mind raced with questions about these new visitors and what they might mean for Jamie and their special connection. As the morning rush continued, four shiny SUVs pulled up to Sonny's diner, capturing the attention of everyone inside. The vehicles rolled to a stop one by one, doors swinging open to reveal a group of sharply dressed individuals who stepped out with an air of authority. The diner, usually filled with laughter and chatter, fell into a hushed murmur as regulars exchanged curious glances. Lisa paused in her duties, wiping her hands on her apron as she watched the newcomers approach the entrance. There was something about their confident strides that sparked concern among the patrons. Who were they, and what did they want? The usual clatter of forks and knives seemed to fade into the background as whispers spread through the diner like wildfire. Lisa's heart raced as she spotted Jamie entering at that moment, his eyes widening in surprise at the scene unfolding before him. She instinctively moved closer to him, ready to shield him from whatever was about to happen. The atmosphere was thick with anticipation and uncertainty, hinting that change was on the horizon. As the SUV passengers entered the diner, their commanding presence captured the attention of everyone inside. Dressed in tailored suits, they exuded an air of authority that contrasted sharply with the relaxed, familiar atmosphere of Sonny's diner. Regulars turned in their seats, eyes widening in curiosity and concern as these newcomers moved confidently through the aisles. Lisa met their gaze with a mixture of apprehension and professionalism. One of the men, tall and imposing, approached her where she stood at the counter. He ordered a strong coffee without a hint of small talk, his expression serious and focused. Behind him, others fanned out across the diner, taking seats that disrupted the cozy routine cherished by patrons. Hushed whispers filled the air as Lisa returned to her duties, her heart racing. She glanced at Jamie, who remained seated at his booth, wide-eyed and unsure. The once warm atmosphere in the diner now felt tense and fraught with uncertainty as patrons exchanged worried looks. Something significant was unfolding, and a sense of change loomed heavy in the air. Among the passengers, one figure stood out, a woman with striking features and an assertive presence, wearing a blazer that signified authority. She moved with purpose, her sharp gaze surveying the diner, as if assessing a situation rather than simply entering a restaurant. Lisa felt her heart race at the sight of her, sensing that this woman was not just an ordinary visitor. As the woman approached Lisa, she introduced herself as Ms. Carter, a social worker. Her reputation for advocating for children in distress preceded her, and the whispered conversations among patrons hinted that she might be there for Jamie. The weight of her purpose loomed over the diner like a storm cloud, raising questions about the quiet boy's future. Lisa's protective instincts flared, knowing Jamie's struggles but unsure how much Ms. Carter knew. The atmosphere thickened with anxiety as patrons exchanged glances, their curiosity transforming into concern. What would this powerful figure mean for Jamie, and how would it affect their special bond? As Ms. Carter approached Jamie's booth, Lisa knew she had to act. Taking a deep breath, She stepped forward, planting herself firmly between Jamie and the social worker. "Excuse me, Ms. Carter," Lisa began, her voice steady but assertive. "I know Jamie, and I can assure you he's in good hands here." Ms. Carter raised an eyebrow, clearly surprised by Lisa's boldness. "I appreciate your concern, but I need to talk to him about his home situation," she replied coolly. Lisa softened, but remained resolute. "Jamie comes here for more than just food. This diner is his safe space. He may not have someone at home looking out for him, but he has me here," she insisted. The tension in the diner grew thicker as patrons watched the exchange. Lisa's commitment to Jamie shone through her words, highlighting her role not just as a waitress, but as a guardian of this quiet boy's well-being. She wouldn't let anyone take away the comfort that Sonny's diner provided him, not without a fight. The tension in the diner began to ease as Lisa stood firm, an unexpected ally for Jamie. Miss Carter, recognizing Lisa's deep care for the boy, softened her approach. "I just want to help him," she said, her voice dropping to a gentler tone. "He deserves a chance." Lisa nodded, understanding that Jamie's situation was serious, but feeling a flicker of hope. As they spoke quietly at the counter, Jamie listened intently, his heart racing with uncertainty and anticipation. For the first time, he felt seen, not just as a quiet boy in a corner, but as someone whose life truly mattered. With a new plan forming for Jamie's future, Ms. Carter spoke of resources that could give him support and guidance. While change loomed ahead, it became clear that this could lead to a brighter path for him. Lisa felt a surge of hope, knowing their bond would remain strong through whatever challenges lay ahead. Together, they would navigate this unfamiliar territory, leaving behind uncertainty and stepping toward a future filled with promise. As the day drew to a close and the last of the patrons filtered out, Lisa stood at the counter, reflecting on everything that had unfolded. The diner was quieter now, but the warmth of hope lingered in the air. She thought about how a simple act of kindness, like offering a meal to Jamie, could ripple through lives in unexpected ways. In a small town like theirs, where everyone knew each other, she realized that those gestures mattered more than she had ever understood. They created connections that transformed not only individuals, but also the community as a whole. Lisa felt grateful for her role in Jamie's life, knowing that by standing up for him, she had sparked change, not just for him, but for herself as well. With a renewed sense of purpose, she imagined new beginnings not only for Jamie, but also for their small diner, where kindness would continue to thrive. It was here, amidst the clinking of dishes and laughter, that hope could blossom into something truly beautiful.